In a small village by the South China Sea lived a woman named Shih. She watched the great ships sail beyond the horizon and dreamed not of silks or spices, but of commanding the wind and the waves herself. The most feared pirate on the seas was Long, commander of the Red Flag Fleet. He was as fierce as the dragon he was named for, but he was also wise. He saw in Shih a mind as sharp as a captain's sword. Long asked Shih to be his wife. "I will," she said, her voice as steady as the northern star. "But I will not be a pirate's wife. I will be a pirate's equal. We will command the fleet together." And so they did. Together, Shih and Long turned the Red Flag Fleet into a mighty force. They wrote a code of laws, fair but firm. All treasure was shared, and any who disobeyed faced the justice of the sea. Their code was tested. When two crewmen fought over a silver necklace, Shih and Long called a hearing on the main deck. They listened to both sides and declared the necklace belonged to the fleet's treasury, to be shared by all. Their justice was swift and fair, earning them unwavering loyalty. Their partnership was legendary. In the Strait of Malacca, they faced a fleet of Portuguese treasure ships. Using Shih's brilliant strategy of a feigned retreat, they lured the enemy into a narrow channel where Long led a thunderous attack. The victory doubled their fleet's wealth. But the sea is a fickle master. One day, a typhoon of unimaginable fury struck the fleet. When the winds finally calmed and the sun returned, Long was gone, taken by the storm. The fleet was adrift, its dragon lost. The captains looked to Long second in command, a young and brave warrior named Pao. He had been like a son to Long, but some captains grumbled. "A woman cannot command the Red Flag Fleet," sneered a grizzled captain named Guo. He challenged her openly before the others, his voice full of doubt. "The sea demands a dragon, not a seagull." Shih's voice cut through the tension. "The dragon is gone," she declared, "but his spirit remains in the fleet we built together. And I will lead it." Pao drew his sword and stood by her side. "She is our commander now," he announced. "Her mind is our sharpest weapon." To silence the dissent, Shih challenged Guo not to a duel of swords, but of wits. They played a game of go on a barrelhead, the entire fleet watching. Shih, with calm and deliberate moves, cornered him completely, proving her strategic mind was unmatched. Guo bowed his head in defeat. Under Shih's command, the Red Flag Fleet grew into a floating kingdom. It was a city on the water, with families and children, merchants and craftsmen. She established rules for fair trade and schools for the children. Life flourished. Pao, now her most trusted advisor, trained a new generation of fighters, teaching them discipline and honor. The fleet was not just a band of pirates. It was a nation upon the waves, with Shih as its queen. The emperor, furious that a pirate queen controlled his coastline, sent his greatest admiral, Koxinga, with a massive fleet. "Bring me her head!" the emperor roared from his throne. But Shih's spies were everywhere. She knew Koxinga's plans before he even set sail. In her cabin, Shih and Pao spent long nights poring over maps, not planning a battle, but a trap. Shih used a small squadron as bait, luring the imperial fleet into a maze of islands shrouded in a thick, unnatural fog that her navigators knew intimately. Koxinga's grand ships were lost, blind, and separated. From the fog, Shih's smaller, faster ships struck like lightning. They did not seek to sink the enemy, but to disable them, tearing their sails and breaking their rudders. Pao led the charge, capturing ship after ship with minimal bloodshed. Admiral Koxinga was captured and brought before Shih. Instead of executing him, she offered him tea. "The sea does not belong to the emperor," she said calmly. "Go tell him that." She sent him and his crew home, shamed but alive. For years, no ship could defeat her. But Shih watched the children playing on the decks and knew that a life of constant battle was not the future she wanted for them. She had won her glory. Now she needed to win them a lasting peace. She gathered her captains. "I am going to negotiate with the emperor," she announced. Some gasped, calling it suicide. But Pao stood with her. "We trusted her mind to win us the war," he said. "We must trust it to win us the peace." So she did the unthinkable. She sailed her flagship into the harbor, walked ashore alone and unarmed, and entered the palace of the emperor's highest official. She did not come to surrender, but to negotiate. The official, a pompous man named Lord Guan, sneered at her. "A pirate begging for scraps?" he asked. She smiled. "I am not begging, my lord. I am offering you a choice, a costly, endless war, or a peace that will fill the emperor's coffers." She laid out her terms: a full pardon for every man, woman, and child in her fleet, and the right to keep their lawfully earned wealth. She then revealed detailed knowledge of Lord Guan's own smuggling operations, proving she could be a powerful ally or a devastating enemy. Stunned, Lord Guan took the terms to the emperor. He argued that pardoning the pirates and allowing Xi to integrate her forces into the economy would bring more stability and wealth than a war they could not win. The emperor, impressed by Xi's audacity, agreed. Xi kept her treasure and retired from the sea. With her wealth, she founded one of the most successful trading companies in China. Pao remained by her side as her partner. She was never defeated, a queen who had built her own kingdom, and a legend who had chosen her own peace.